Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching Shazam, the political vigilante. Look at that. Look at the vegan guns, you guys. These are forged in Gotham out of vegan smoothies. Support what we're doing, everybody. Go to grahamelwood.com. You can sign up to our newsletter. The newsletter is a great way because I just send about one a month about stuff I've got going on, tour dates. If you put in your zip code, then I can target your city and know there's a lot of people that support me in a certain town. I can do more live shows there. And because I've been so throttled on social media, Instagram has rejected ads of mine, Twitter has throttled me, YouTube has been demonetizing me we're in our third year now. If you sign up for the newsletter, then I can have direct access to you. We don't have to worry about a big tech company or the CIA getting in the way of it. Isn't that nice? So go to grahamelwood.com. And why that's important is because there's all these horrible internet bills coming down the line, and the Heritage Foundation is trying to it's really bad for censorship, for internet freedom, for freedom of speech. And I'm going to bring Ron Placone on the show, who can explain this a lot better than I can because he follows this quite well, and it's something that it impacts all of us. So please welcome from Get Your News On with Ron Placone.
Hello, Graham. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, so there's a couple things going on right now. I do follow this beat a lot. I collaborate with Fight for the Future. Digital rights has been a beat that I've been following since like literally 2004. I've been paying attention since I got interested in net neutrality. And, to sum it up really briefly, why do I care about these things? Well, for two reasons. First of all, the digital village is one in which I dwell, you as well. And two, without a proper communication vehicle, which in today's day and age is the internet, if we lose that, which is possible, we're really freaking screwed. So, I see the importance in internet policy and its connection, no pun intended, to everything else. So, and all the time, there's bills that they have these nice flowery titles that are things that you're, of course, going to be for. Keep kids safe online, all these things. Of course, you're for that. We're all for that. Everyone wants that. But then you look at what this bill actually freaking does, and it's like, oh, this destroys end-to-end encryption on our messages, which means our messages are vulnerable for scanning and hacking. This doesn't keep anyone safe. Oh, this allows any given president to dictate what news we are and aren't allowed to see if it comes from a different country. This is probably a bad idea. Oh, this gives state bureaucrats the ability to decide what young people are allowed to see online. This is probably going to backfire big time. Oh, this allows the police to monitor people who are looking for information about obtaining abortion information in an area where they outlawed that now in the post Roe v. Wade world we're living in. So all these bills have their own dystopian flavors. And you might be wondering, well, is there one place where we can get all of these dystopian hell bills in one place and know why they're all terrible? Well, now there is. And it's a one-stop shop, Graham, and it's called badinternetbills.com. Very easy, appropriate name. Just badinternetbills.com, and you can go there and you can see stuff like COSA in the Restrict Act. And, the Restrict Act was the one that involved TikTok, which, by the way, banning TikTok is just one of the many bad things that this bill does. This bill would also allow any given president to dictate what information you can see that doesn't come from the United States, because the Restrict Act would also roll back a thing called the Berman Amendments. See, there's a reason that all these bills have these nice names. We're going to keep kids safe online. And then you look, every freaking human rights group in the country is against these damn things because they actually read them. And they're like, this is terrible. This is terrible. And in particular, it's LGBTQ youth that is targeted the most, because it's like, and the Heritage Foundation recently published a tweet where they said the quiet part out loud, where their goal is to completely outlaw any resources for LGBTQ youth, information about health information, about resources, about counseling. For a lot of these kids, this could be the difference between life or death, quite frankly. and they're trying to just take those resources away from them in a very brutal, vicious way. And so, there's a lot going on in this space. Digital rights are human rights. And you can go to badinternetbills.com. You can read all about all these bills in one place, and you can sign the petition to let your elected officials know that you see through this stuff and you do not want these bills to go anywhere.
That's excellent. That's great to have a one-stop shop. That's what we need. We need these websites that, and there's not a lot of them, but like I always refer to opensecrets.org, which just takes the Federal Elections Commission, the FEC's, because donations are transparent, and it just breaks them down by category. Like this candidate got this, like we saw in 2020, the defense industry spent $49 million across all candidates. Bernie Sanders got 800,000, putting him in third place. Donald Trump got 2.7 million, put him in second place, and Joe Biden was number one with 3.1 million. So I would encourage people to go to badinternetbills.com, see the bills, see the politicians, and then go to Open Secrets to see what tech companies have donated to what politicians. You can really see this infusion of tech cash and who's behind these bills. Because then you find out, oh, that's why they want this bill. They're not trying to protect kids or whatever. They're just trying to get a bigger market share or whatever it is. They want to outlaw a competitor from another country and call them terrorists or whatever their crazy, greed-filled, capitalist, psycho lobbying money that has turned America basically into a death cult.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, like one of the big things of the Restrict Act, one of the big architects of it is Mark Warner out of Virginia. Just to piggyback on what you're saying. And Mark Warner is one of the wealthier members of both houses, Congress and Senate. And one of the things this bill does is it really antagonizes any type of software or applications that come from outside the United States. That's why it's demonizing TikTok so hard. Where does Mark Warner have a bunch of investments? Domestically produced software.
What?
So
weird.
I mean, it's just so on the surface, like the conflict of interest these people have, and these bills would really hurt people. And then they go under the guise of like, well, TikTok it's the Chinese government and blah blah blah. First of all, are there security concerns on TikTok? Absolutely. But they're the same security concerns that exist on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. In fact, the TikTok hearing revealed that Facebook and Instagram are worse when it comes to data privacy than TikTok. They're freaking worse. The shit they do is worse. TikTok doesn't sell your stuff. Facebook and Instagram do, and they're open about it. TikTok doesn't. They could. I'm not saying the concerns aren't there, but they're actually, Facebook and Instagram are worse. Well, it's the Chinese government. First of all, no, it isn't. No, it isn't actually. Right. No Americans' information are in China from TikTok. None. Yeah, zero. And they offered to make it all domestic, and American politicians still complain. And it was just a bunch of xenophobic nonsense. I covered that hearing live. It was disgusting and embarrassing.
Well, they used xenophobia to cover it. I mean, it was some xenophobia, but what that whole thing was about was two things. One, hey, it's basically they're like, China can't monitor our citizens. Only we can illegally monitor our citizens.
Yes, exactly.
What that was about. And China is an economic superpower, and we're losing control of the world because we've got the BRICS countries, which I've mentioned before. This is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now they're talking about maybe having Venezuela potentially join, which has, what do they have? Giant oil reserves. And all those countries decided to say, we're not using the US dollar anymore. Russia and China got off the petro-dollar about 2019, so 4 years ago now. And so that's what this is really about. And we keep flying.
Graham, I'm going to beat you to the punch, man. I got to jump in right now because I'm going to beat you to a fucking punch for the first and last time ever. Another reason they want to go after end-to-end encryption and similar things is so they can crack down more on things like cryptocurrencies.
Yes, Ron Placone. God bless you.
I beat you. I brought cryptocurrency into this before you did. First time for everything.
I'm gonna somehow weave this segment into a obscure band's vinyl record album. But before
We're really switching hats, dude. You got to bust out a killer music reference before this segment's over, and then it's like, man, what a freaking man. That was a really switcheroo.
I think no, it's true, and that's the other thing too. Is since you brought it up, so Bitcoin is a threat to the central banking. As one of the ways America flexes its muscle globally to its own, first of all, to keep its own citizens down, and globally is it uses the central banks, it uses organizations like the IMF. We saw, like, and a great example was when Julian Assange was staying in the Ecuadorian embassy. The IMF, which is basically a financial arm of the US military, said, hey, Ecuador, we're going to give you $500 million in stimulus, but only if you let us come and arrest Julian Assange. And suddenly, they let the authorities come into the Ecuadorian. So this is how they sanction countries, and that's why Venezuela is probably going to join BRICS, and it's why Lula has been critical of the United States. He's been critical of their treatment of Julian Assange, and Lula is introducing crypto legislation into Brazil. Lula is a big left president. He's introduced legislation to protect the Amazon. Under Bolsonaro, some Amazonian activists were killed. And that's why you've got countries like El Salvador who are like, we've got Bitcoin now. We can't be sanctioned or crushed. And so all of this is tied together, and big tech, getting it back full circle, is important. Just like we all listened to vinyl albums in the 70s and 80s, and then it went cassette tapes, and then it went CDs, and then it went downloads, and now we're all back. Vinyl's back, baby, Ron. So everything,
well done.
I can, thank you. I can, listen to my Violent Femmes album from the 80s, and bring it back to this saving the internet. So tell us the website again.
badinternetbills.com. Go there, sign. Awesome.
Yes. Go to badinternetbills.com, everybody. And also, Ron, you have tour dates coming up.
I do, Graham. June 16th, I'll be in Madison. June 17th, Minneapolis. June 23rd, Detroit. June 28th, Bloomington, Indiana. June 29th, Chicago. Tickets and all information at ronplacone.com. In August, I'm going to be at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, August 16th through 27th. So all the Scotland and UK listeners, come hang out. And then October 21st, San Pedro. Tickets and all information, ronplacone.com.
Awesome. Folks, I just got August 3rd in San Diego lined up. As soon as I get a ticket link for you, I will put that on my website, grahamelwood.com. And we will be doing more Anything Can Happen live shows in Los Angeles, but we will also probably be selling a live streaming ticket for you, so you can watch that game show anywhere in the world. Just stay tuned by following grahamelwood.com and sign up for the newsletter so big tech can't get in the way of us talking. Thank you so much, everybody. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, and shave your knuckles for justice. Boom!
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/GrahamElwood or rockfin.com/GrahamElwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood, and go to grahamelwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.